Yo, welcome to your place for news, sports, entertainment, fire optics podcast. We're here for another one. I'm your boy Ken Say. Over here we got James.
What's up, fam?
Cousin Daniel.
What's up?
Rishi.
Hey, people.
All right. This week, hottest news week ever. Stimmies will be rolling in pretty soon. That's good for the economy. That's gonna buy me a nice little trip somewhere this summer, or a couple of trips probably. But we're gonna start off this week on the parental tip because a lot of people out here were trying to get upset with a particular Christian singer. You may have heard of him, but it goes by the name of Kirk Franklin. And Kirk Franklin was having a conversation with his son. In fact, let's play it. Go ahead, Dan. We can play it. Go ahead. Now, the reason why I think we need to go ahead and play it, even though everybody's heard it, it's just funny, number one. Number two, so we can have a little parameters of how this went down. And when we compare it to our own lives, how would we have reacted? Yeah, are we gonna do this or what? What's going on?
Y'all ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll do it.
Pause. Hit pause already. Hit pause. Hit pause.
Hey, Jeff.
Hold on. From jump, it is established. I've said this already. Because what did he say? All right, so you don't understand. I gotta tell your thick ass again or your dumb ass again, whatever the heck he said. So he is it? Are we clear that he's obviously reiterating himself for like probably the okay?
Yeah.
So let's take that into account. Stop. See?
I dare you.
Oh man.
That's not a good relationship.
Now that is the part where either you're gonna hang up the phone and go go straight to him, hang up the phone and be done with him, or you just go ahead and start cussing him out. I don't think you really have a choice right then when he says I dare. You all agree?
Yep.
Well,
All right, so far we all agree 2 for 2. Go ahead.
That's some OG shit. I'm gonna bite your neck.
I'm gonna break your
No, he
neck.
said break. He said break.
I'm gonna break
He
your
said
neck.
Yeah,
break.
I'm gonna break your neck.
I know. If Richie would have been better if he did say, "I will bite the back."
I thought he said bite until just now. I was like, whoa.
Bite would have been better. Bite would have been better. All right, so show of hands. Did he handle that appropriately?
Oh yeah.
Wait, the dad?
Yeah.
Yes, Kirk Franklin.
Yeah, yes.
Hey.
Okay, we all agree. So I don't know whoever was trying to cancel this dude. Maybe it was for the language. Of course, he had to come out and apologize about the way he spoke. But you know what? I don't know about you guys.
He did nothing wrong.
I have a newfound respect for Kirk Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think
Look,
you don't know how everybody's gonna parent. So
He's educating the kids.
this is the
go ahead,
problem.
Jay.
This is the problem with kids these days, right? I've heard worse shit than that growing up from my parents.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
you're right
saying?
about that.
You know what I mean?
Right
So,
about that.
especially if I'm antagonizing my parents, you know what I mean? First of all, I wouldn't have got that far.
No, we never. That's the crazy thing. I was
Yeah.
always too scared to antagonize my father.
Well, yeah.
And I
And I was
would
too scared to
never.
antagonize my mother because I knew my father was so crazy.
Yeah, that nigga was ill.
I learned the lesson. I don't know if you remember this, but I learned the lesson back in the day to never talk back to my mom. You remember that incident that happened with Alton?
No, what happened?
Really? It was.
Daniel, tell
We'll
the
talk
damn story.
offline. We'll talk offline because I don't know if he wants me to put this out there.
Okay, never
But-
mind.
I learned very young to never talk back to my mama. So not talking back to my mama, I don't talk back to my grandma, don't talk back to my aunts. You can ask anybody. I have never talked back to them after what I saw what my mama did to my brother.
I'm gonna tell you a funny story, man, about this situation. One of our good friends, Mr. Mitchell. One day, me and this dude are driving back home from church, and he talked back to his mom. And I thought that day I was gonna die, cause me and him both was in the back seat.
What
And
did he say though? What did he say?
his mom was like, "When you get home, you need to." It was somebody cleaning his room, and so, he didn't talk back. He made a gesture like he was folding clothes, and so she was like, "Do it again. I'm gonna smack the fire out your mouth." I'll never forget that day. And he had the nerve, I guess, because I was in the car with him, to be like,
Yeah.
and all I saw is his black hand reach back there and try to get him. Right? The car swerving, and I'm looking at the rail. I'm looking at him like, because the hands coming to his face, and she ended up just driving the car backwards. And that's the difference between kids back then growing up and these
So I was
kids
about to
today.
say, and guess who are valued members of society? Did Micah turn out okay?
Yeah,
Did Daniel turn out okay?
like, yeah.
I turned out okay. Like this needs to, and another thing, we were speaking about this before the show started. Now here's a problem I do have. You shouldn't have to talk to this fool like this at 33.
Exactly.
So I mean, you don't want to have to cut your kids off. And as being Kirk Franklin is probably harder to do because you know what I'm saying? You're Kirk Franklin. So if you're one of your kids is out here struggling in the world or whatever, it's gonna be a bad look on you. Just no way. There's no way around that.
Well,
I disagree with that.
I'm assuming
I
that
disagree with that.
Kid grew
I
up,
disagree
he
with
grew up really rich, and he's spoiled.
yeah.
I disagree with that.
Kurt Franklin have made money over the years. Like his son, like I think there's a video of his daughter was talking about, like there's a video that the daughter put out talking about that you had every advantage. You was a privileged black person. You had every advantage to make something of yourself, but now you're sitting here like mad that you wasted it or something like that. So,
See, but we need to know what actually led to his son or what he said initially that was so disrespectful. Like, because I'm still getting back to the point of the age, though, man. Like, dude's 33, and you gotta like. When was the last time your parents actually had to cuss you out, like for real, for real? That's like early 20s. My parents have not had to yell at me or anything like that since like 22, 23. And that's pushing it.
Ever since
We
I left
got
the army, I haven't got cussed out by my parents.
exactly. So that's what that's what I'm saying. Like, I guarantee you, Kirk Franklin feels like I still have to have a certain. I'm his father, number one. Number two, I'm Kirk Franklin. I can't let this dude just be out here effing up whatever.
That's the problem.
I know it's the problem. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying. Exactly.
Because to me, and I had a coworker, right, in my last assignment in the army, and he was stressed. He couldn't work stress every day because his son was living with him, right, 28 years old, right. And I said, and we used to go travel to go inspect schools and stuff. And so, he asked me when they were sitting at dinner. He says, "Man, what did I do?" I said, "Here's the problem." I said, when I graduated high school, right, I had that summer, and I remember that when school started back, when high school started back, I remember my mom gave me $1,000, told me good luck. You know what I'm saying? I made my obligation to you. You know what I mean? And so, and what we do, we had rinky-dink apartments, right? When we first got out, we all got together, but we found our way. You know what I'm saying? And that's what life is about. If you can't take off the support system, they'll never grow. And growth is about pain. And he at 33, he's never felt the pain because he had his his pops. He's living off his pops, success. And that's always a damaging thing. And like I tell my daughters, I said, when you graduate high school, you got two options. You can do what you want to do, or you can be in school. You stay here with me, but you're gonna be in school. You know what I'm saying?
That's
But
the truth, man.
you know what I mean?
And now, we don't want to make too many assumptions
I'm
here.
just saying, I've met a
Yeah.
lot of people that grew up with a lot of money and they just became useless people because they didn't have any hunger and maybe their funds ran out or their trust funds and I'm not sure what they're doing at this point.
I don't know. I mean, I sure was hard for my mom to be like, you got to go. You know what I'm saying? But that's the best thing for your kid.
Yeah, you have to get out, go out there in the world and experience it.
It is, but it isn't, because now we are all parents, and James, you're much further along the lines of parenting than the rest of us. But I can kind of tell you just have such a view of the whole forest, and when it comes to your kids. So your mom, it may not be as hard as we think, because she knows, okay, the way he's behaving, what I've given him, and blah, blah, blah. He's man enough. I've prepared him enough. If I don't do this right now, then he's going to start regressing. So I have that much faith and belief in what I did. You know what I'm saying? Like, my father did it to me. I don't know if I mentioned this on this show, but out of high school, I didn't go directly I went to a community college, but I wasn't about it like that. And I started working at this place called Bahama Breeze in Raleigh when it first opened. So it was the bomb when it first opened. This was like almost like my college experience for that particular age. And I'm staying up in Raleigh every night, hanging out with young people, having fun, doing all kinds of stuff till like 3, 4, 5 in the morning, coming home, all the way back to Durham every night, sneaking in my parents' window. And one night, I snuck in through the window like I normally did. And my parents are sitting in the bedroom when I turned on the light or whatever. I'm like, oh, and my mom is like, Ken, baby. My dad's like sitting in the cut. You gotta go. And my mom's like, Nick, no, wait, Nick, stop. Hold on, Nick. Let me talk to him. Baby, you got it's I think get the fuck out. So, but here's what they did. They essentially did kind of what James' family did. They were like, look, we know you got a good job. You're obviously making a lot of money. You're out here partying, having a good time. You need to go ahead and have your own place and blah, blah, blah. So they helped me pay for my first rent. You know, when you get an apartment, first month's rent, last month's rent. They took care of that. They're like, you take care of the rest. Hooked me up with a couple of bits of furniture, a futon, a couple other things. And I remember, but the greatest thing, and I thanked them later on, specifically my dad, because I knew that he was kind of the catalyst for that happening. But there was a particular week within the first couple of months where I lived in that studio apartment in Raleigh, 500 square foot studio apartment. And I forgot to pay a bill, like the electric bill or something like that. But I had too much pride to tell my parents about it or whatever. And I had to eat cold grits for like a week or something like that. It was something ill where I was like, all right, shit's real.
Yeah.
Guess what, Bill? But guess what? Bill got paid from then on out. Guess who didn't have a hard time paying bills? Period.
Is that that place you're living with Delroy and Micah?
What's up?
Delroy and Micah. I remember.
I lived with Del later on.
Okay.
Yeah, I lived with Del when I met my wife, which was very ironic and crazy. But anyway, point being, if they hadn't done that, my dad saw the writing on the wall. This dude is gonna stay here, party it up, make all this money, and become either a party animal or just fuck up. Something's not gonna go right. He doesn't have a sense of responsibility, and obviously, it sounds like Kirk Franklin's son has not had a sense enough of responsibility, because you got to yell at him like that, and he's damn 33 years old. That don't make no damn sense.
Yeah.
I agree with James. For my daughter, when she turns 18 and whatever you want to do, if you want to work and live here, cool. If you want to go to school and live here, cool. You just can't just sit around or whatever. But for my son, Look at Daniel. See,
I was
Daniel,
gonna say, you gotta
effing up already. Daniel, effing up already. Daniel.
hold on. You can't. How can I say it? You can't treat one child like you
Yes,
can
you
stay.
can.
But
Yes, you
no,
can.
you
Yes,
really?
you can.
It's a girl and a boy. That's a totally different thing. Hold
And
on.
I'm gonna explain this to you from a biblical standpoint, since we're talking about
Okay.
Kurt
Okay.
Franklin, right? A female is to stay with her father until she is married, biblically.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? Because that's her covering, right? Until she meets her husband.
I'm her protector until she finds another protector.
Right. You see what I'm saying? Your son is to go and become a covering for somebody. And you can't have two coverings in the house. He has to, when he gets of age, really the age is 20. 20 is when you're supposed to be like, okay, bye. You see what I'm saying? That's when they're at the age of accountability. But bringing it back to the non-biblical side of the house is you want him to fall on his face as soon as possible. Like Ken with the electric bill, right?
Humility.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I slept in my car before. You know what I mean?
Same.
You know what I mean? It ain't fun, but you know what I'm saying? Trust me, it'll never happen again. Not going to put anything lie. But all of those things along the way, what it did, what Ken said, I resonate was when I didn't have any money, I never called my mom. I had too much pride, I think, or I didn't want to let her know I hit rock bottom. You see what I'm saying? So I remember, I tell a story because it happened so long ago. I mean, you better write checks,
Oh yeah.
and you can't write checks no more. Well, at least I haven't seen it. You write checks, and I'll pray for it to go to that little machine. Cause I know I was getting paid in 2 days, so I knew it wouldn't hit to my account in 2 days. I've been there, you know what I'm saying? Just hoping that it worked out. But I had to grow.
Refresh on the screen to see if it's in. Refresh.
Yeah, yep. And so, but you had to grow and learn. You know what I'm saying? And so your son, I hated Daniel. I know. Listen, man, you had to let him go, man. Trust me, when he turned 18, you probably gonna be ready for him to get out of the house anyway.
Yeah, but I'm trying to go ahead and make him like independent. I'm trying to make sure he grows up and be able to be independent when
That was another thing, James. I had a couple of them things happen at the crib here and there. I'm sure that has something to do with it.
Oh yeah.
And that's something you're not thinking about, Daniel. Kyle's gonna be a handsome dude.
You know what? I'm
like
not gonna lie to you.
You're not bringing them scallywags back to my house.
He probably won't have to sneak nothing because he'll probably already know what time I get back home.
He's smarter than we think.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he gonna probably have us down to a T of when we get home. So
well, anyway, good conversation. Kurt, keep your head up. Don't let that nigga give you a heart attack, man.
Break his neck.
Oh, and which comedian is gonna go ahead and do who's gonna do it first? Who's gonna do the impersonation of Kurt Franklin cussing the kid out on Saturday Night Live?
It's gonna be your boy.
But who should it be? Which comedian, if you could choose to play Kurt Franklin?
Chris Red could do it.
Yeah, doing the whole little.
Like Chris Red, the other dude on SNL. Yeah, the only other black dude on SNL.
They probably gonna get Keenan to do it.
Keenan gotta do it, man. That dude cracked me up, man.
Has anybody watched this show?
I watched one. It's actually
it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's for families.
It's different. Like he lost his wife or something like that, and he's having a hard time adjusting. But it's pretty good. But that shit he did with what you call it, LeVar Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the best.
And Carolossus. That mess had me rolling, boy.
Yeah, it had him rolling while it was going on. What's next on the menu, man? What's next?
Yeah, well, while we talking about entertainment, let's talk about this announcer, man, that called these outstanding young ladies of African descent the N-word.
Wait, hold on. First of all, it was white and black girls.
Well,
It was.
Okay, still the N word was uttered out of his mouth towards these girls for kneeling at the national anthem. I know some people are going to agree with him that are racist, but so far, but he made the excuse that it was because of his diabetes and his blood sugar was low. Look,
And
Oh,
if his,
that's what this.
and he said that like
I'm
he
sorry.
always said when his
I was
blood
just gonna
sugar
say
is low.
the cinnamon
Oh,
bun.
go ahead.
No, so that's where now I get it. You're always cinnamon bun. You just give him a cinnamon bun. Get his
You know what I want to know now?
his blood sugar right.
yeah.
I want to know. Now I want to know which one of our friends has diabetes. I want to have a conversation with them and find out what kind of lies they be using for the diabetes. I want to see if this is a thing where dudes with diabetes be getting away with this all the time. Be like, hey man, I'm sorry.
I knew 3 people who got dismissed from the army because of diabetes. Right? You can't have it.
Really?
Yeah, you can't have it in the army.
What?
Oh, because you can't have it in the army. Okay, I didn't.
You can't have it in the army.
What?
So
I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know that.
Yeah, they'll discharge you. You
Blood
can't have.
transfusion stuff like that.
Yeah, and you can't have. Well, it's one of the types. It's the one where you get really, really type 1. Same one this guy's talking about, where
Okay.
you got to have insulin shots.
Yeah.
The other one is just because of bad eating. You can get rid of that.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But the one that is the disease is the shots, the insulin shots. And so I knew 2 people who they was getting deployed, and they found out that they had to come figure out why they was getting tired all the time, right?
Yeah.
And then they couldn't figure out why, and they didn't have it their whole life, and it just crept up on them. So what they was putting in us, but you know what I'm saying. But it didn't make them say anything delirious. They didn't want to talk at all. They just was just like, I need something. You know what I'm saying? Because they were so weak. You know what I mean? Or so so they couldn't deploy because you can't have insulin shots in theater, whatever. So you got separated. But so I don't understand where this dude's coming from, where his blood sugar level was low, and plus you have diabetes. Why don't you got your Cinnabon or your orange juice or your snack, whatever it is beside you, if you know your blood sugar is low?
Yeah.
Like, you have no excuse. And to me, out of all the words you can say, that's a focused word directed at a group of people. So that means you're not weak and disoriented. It means something ticked you off that where you was coherent enough to be like, these ends shouldn't be doing this. So to me, it ain't no excuse.
No,
It also made me think of.
He said it because he's an Oklahoman dude, and that's what he believes.
Yeah.
You know what I thought of? With racist people, does fucking and niggers go hand to hand? Is it always fucking niggers? Or is it? Do you ever just say, look at those? It seems like fucking and niggers go hand to hand.
I think fucking is like an emphasis, like just to be like, oh, just fucking.
I think the last few times I heard about somebody saying nigger, it had the fucking in front of it.
Yeah, it's just that hate for it. Look, to me, I'm not even mad he said it. I'm just mad at the excuse. Just a big racist. I don't gotta. I'm not
mad. The excuses. The excuses are all. That mess is funny to me, boy.
He couldn't find a reason, so he was like, I'm just go with the diabetes. We'll see how that play out.
Once again, and you can tell how often he said it, because he said it so quickly.
It came so easy.
It just rolled right off the tongue.
Yeah. I'm like, look, just stop lying. Just
like, that's the 7th time you said that today.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. Period. We know what it is. Just admit it. Like, hey, I don't like black people.
No, they're not gonna do that, James.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not mad at them. So I know they're not gonna do it. But hey, just there's companies out there who have racist CEOs. Go work for them. You all can go work at this place and just leave us alone. You know what I'm saying? That way you ain't gotta be bothered with us. You ain't gotta make these phony ass apologies that your diabetes told you to say that. You know what I'm saying? And then everything's fine and dandy.
Did he lose his game?
His partner needs to be in just as much trouble.
Yeah.
His commentator. I mean, his co-partnering commentator, whatever. Because I didn't hear you check him, challenge him, or anything like that.
I think he giggled, like, and he laughed a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to go too.
Yeah.
They'll be gone. That's not another one bites the dust. Oh, happy day, and gave us some comedy along with it. So thank you.
Mhm.
Because you know what I'm saying. And here's the funny thing. This leads on to the next conversation. There's a black cop who called somebody a nigger and got fired. Right?
Well, no, he didn't use the ER. Like,
No, he
you going to
did
jail,
it. He said it
nigga.
the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said the way he
This
said,
nigga.
but yeah, but it got him fired, right?
Mhm.
So these two should be fired as well. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I'm
I think they cut ties with the whatever agency they were with. They cut ties with that agency or something like that. Let me check.
So he's messing up niggas' money.
Hmm.
That's no bueno. While you checking on that though, let's go to the Patrick Ewing story real quick though, because the cop getting fired.
yeah.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead, Rishi. Tell us what you think about this Pat Ewing situation, because you were very passionate about it.
I was, because Jim Dolan has been disrespecting Charles Oakley, Pat Ewing, Mace
All the black
for
players.
years, man.
And
Yeah,
ironically, he hires a lot of black people.
yeah. Remember the time he kicked Oakley out of the stadium of MSG because
It's
he was.
true, James. I'm sorry. He does.
You know what that's about.
Yeah, but
No, now.
my point is, the Ewing thing is a big deal because now he's back. MSG, is showing respect, at least for the fans. I think Jimmy Dolan's done at some point soon. So I'm just saying, I'm bullish for Knicks.
I'm a
We'll
Knicks
see what
fan
happens.
too, man. But it
As soon as he leaves.
is what it is, man. Like, to me, you don't see it happen in any other stadium with your greats. They didn't win a championship, but then they went to the finals, right? And
Yeah.
they made Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. Exactly. Early mid 90s,
Yeah.
they brought in all the revenue.
That was
Patrick Ewing, Hall of Famer.
And for all the people who are, and there was a couple of people here and there saying, yeah, they should have checked him. Even if you are Pat Ewing, yeah, you still need to get checked and blah, blah, blah. See, here's the problem. Yeah, the security guard, their job is to check and make sure, whoever comes in, has been cleared and blah, blah, blah. So they're doing their job. And I understand that. But here's the problem. As an organization, you don't run your ship tight enough that there should be, if there's any live players whose jerseys are hanging from the rafters,
Yeah.
their pictures should be up in the security office, along with Spike Lee's and along with whoever the hell else has brought this Madison Square Garden brand and help keep it floating over all these years, even through the bad years. You should have a room, okay? Here are the people. Take a picture of it, keep it on your phone. If they come, you let them in. All right.
Why don't they got a separate area where they go to?
Something.
You know what I'm saying?
They used to. That's what happened with Spike Lee. They used to have a separate area, and then he stopped the separate area because I guess he felt like people were taking advantage of it or what have you.
But that's stupid.
And the Knicks security, how do they not know who Patrick Ewing is? Like, they probably grew up watching him.
I know. The problem is no, that's not necessarily true though. The problem is the Knicks still suck. So if Dolan is getting all this heat because they suck so bad, guess what he can control?
They're actually in 5th place right now.
They're actually looking good.
No, okay. I'm not saying this year. My bad. You're right. This year they're actually good. But over the past Lord knows how many years they weren't. And to me, it's like, okay, I'm getting all this heat, all this bad press for this. I'll show you, Spike Lee. I'll show you, you know what I'm saying? You know how they do. You know how they do.
But
here's control this scenario so you can control the other one.
But here's the thing, right? And I'm gonna use the military analogy, right? let a veteran come to one of our events, right? And he don't even have to be part of the organization, especially if he was part of that organization. He or she's going to get honored, right? You're going to get a front row seat to what's ever going on. We're going to ask you, what do you need? You know what I'm saying? Because we respect those who came before us. You see what I'm saying? And Nolan has to do the same thing. You're not a billionaire without these players. Period. You ain't making Madison Square Garden wouldn't be shit without Ewing and Mason and
Oak
Jordan
Tree.
talking about that's the
They
best
got
place on
Oak
earth.
Tree in the middle of the game.
You know what I'm saying? And so, he needs to go. He does, but I don't think that'll happen.
He's not selling.
Someone's gonna buy him out.
They can't force him to sell over this little stuff. He would have to do some racist Donald Sterling kind of stuff, and I don't think he's enough to get caught up like that.
Yeah, he'll have to do something so damaging to the league that they force him out.
Daniel, was there another political news story that was important that you wanted to bring up? Because I felt like there was one that was worth talking about. I forgot which one it was.
Wait, it was
The
A
filibuster.
political?
Yeah.
Yes, filibuster.
The filibuster. There you go.
Yes. So Mitch McConnell made an announcement talking about if, basically if Democrats killed the filibuster, the Senate would be like scorched earth. So
Rishi, explain exactly what the filibuster is for us novice.
I'm not an expert on it, but it's to me the way I group it into all these rules that happened Jim Crow era that were just redlining and districting, and I group it into that situation because it basically that's what it is. They're using procedural stuff in court that was built on racist bullshit, and they've been using that for years.
Yeah, it's just their way to stop a vote from happening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
The same way they're doing in Georgia right now with actual votes.
what's a good example of when Biden did not Biden, Obama wanted to appoint the Supreme Court, they used a filibuster to stop the vote. So basically he's mad because if they don't have that in their toolkit, then they can't, have any means.
What he wants to do.
Yeah.
So that's essentially why this $1 trillion package got passed, because the Republicans, or specifically that $1,400 portion that would be divvied up to certain Americans, because the Republicans voted against that particular portion. And, ironically, of course, why they don't get called out on this part all the time whenever, and this is where I will say that, James, that there's a clear distinction between the evil of Republicans and Democrats. I'm not saying I don't trust Democrats like that, but Republicans to me are inherently evil. And it's because the rhetoric that I heard after it passed, the 1400 was going to go out, and all these Republicans go on TV and say, now is not the time to be doing all this spending, the deficit, spending. We're spending too much, spending. So see, that's when y'all are just really rotten pieces of shit, to be honest with you.
But, and also when they changed the tax code, they wasn't worried about the deficit, or when when the checks was getting sent out under Trump, they wasn't that worried about the deficit. But since we're in a different administration, that was a Republican that told people to give back their $1,400 stimulus checks.
For what?
Talk about they didn't need it. Y'all don't need it. Just send it back.
And let's get some context here, right? So the PPP loans, they went to a certain type of person, certain
small
people.
businesses. They went to small businesses.
I mean, I tried to get one. Nope. But the people that had the big money and that were involved with, or who had lobbyists, they got it like this. And
Yeah, you should have hired me, man, and you'd have got it.
Yeah,
You need an employee.
James, you
just
should
be
have told me
one.
to hire you. Then I would have hired you. I was
I
trying to get
didn't
hired.
even,
I was
I
trying
didn't
to
even
get
think
hired by
about it,
you.
man. I didn't-
No, but it's just it's a mechanism to slow things down and to kind of slow down justice.
I mean,
And it
when
works.
yeah, when
But it
you
was
look at
based
it,
on like racist shit back in the day. Just like
you're right. This is what you call it. When you really look at it, black people should be paying attention to this very closely, right? Because this is really about us versus the filibuster, right? And a filibuster, like Rishi said, it's extremely racist because it was designed to um, have one or two senators be able to stop the black progression, right? So for instance, right now there's a big talk in the House and the Senate about reparations for African Americans,
Hmm.
right? If a filibuster happens, that means that vote can't take place for a certain period of time, right?
yeah,
And then everything that comes before that has to happen before they get back to that topic. And that's what's always been happening with us. That's why we don't get our fair share because they keep filibustering issues like that.
yeah. And so the definition on Wikipedia is obstruction.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what it means, obstruction, or stonewalling. And
and
they're really,
it's so fucked up that it only takes one or two senators.
yeah, and they can just sit there and talk all day about nothing.
And so wait,
But
so when Mitch McConnell said what? How's he implying that he's going to use his filibuster? How?
To stop whatever votes coming up.
yeah, it just
So-
it's a way
But
to stop what they don't want.
But the
but they
Democrats are
didn't want that
trying.
last thing to get passed, and it got passed regardless. So what I'm saying is
They're
that
the votes.
Yeah, they had the votes. You got to have
that's what
one.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You got to have two people that decide not to hold the vote.
Okay.
And so the stimulus was too big of a deal with somebody to stand up and say we're not going to vote on it.
Gotcha.
They're not that stupid. They're not going to be that motherfucker on TV like, oh, we're not even going to have the vote. Pure
Let me
money.
give you
So,
I'm sorry, James. Go ahead.
yeah, they only do it when it comes to black issues.
So the longest ever filibuster was Strom Thurmond trying to filibuster the Civil Rights Act
Mhm.
in 1957. That was the longest. It was like he was up there for like 24 hours straight. It didn't work, but that's what the tactics that are being used.
Yeah.
They're procedural tactics.
Yeah. If you really want to look at it, look at John Lewis Civil Rights Act to tear down some of the Jim Crow laws that were still in place. And you'll see some of those filibusters. There's still
Yeah.
Jim Crow laws in place today.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Oh, and don't forget, y'all, those find out who those Democrats were who voted against the $15 minimum wage and get
Mm.
because they're fake Democrats. They're not real. Get them out. I
Yeah.
think it was 8 of them, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's next on the menu. Get them out. They're not real.
yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean,
Oh, and we got a decision to make, guys. I forgot. So somebody went away a long time. I'm gonna give y'all some clues. I want you to see if you can guess who this is. She went away for a long time. Fine as heck. Fine. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Sister. Now she's trying to come back. She was being mean. She was being intolerable, saying all kinds of reckless stuff. She got rejected. Now she's trying to come back. And I don't think
she had her own podcast or whatever.
No, not Candace Owens. You think the Candace Owens is
yeah.
something? I'm talking about
Oh.
Stacey Dash.
Oh, Stacey Dash. Okay.
Hey, she's trying to come back. Black people, please let me back. I apologize. I was angry, but now I'm being accosted as the Trump supporter, and I feel like a victim. And look, okay. So the only reason why I want to bring this up is Black people cooning and selling out in the long run. Once again, it's not worth it. It's just not. Look at your boy Ron O'Neal, blew his brains out. Watch what happened. Like when has there been the story of the coon or the sellout that went riding off in the sunset? When did that happen?
No, so the part about that story that's crazy to me is that's Dame Dash's sister.
First cousin.
First cousin, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was.
First cousin. Mm-hmm.
I thought she grew up in Harlem as well.
She did. I don't know if she grew up in Harlem. She's still bad though. Good gracious, but she can't come back. You can't come back.
You can't come back.
You sold out your people for real.
Yep, they don't want you. Like Harry Thomas said, them first ones that got to go.
Wait, we gotta ask forgiving Daniel. Go ahead, Daniel.
Oh, I'm not forgiving that.
Oh,
I don't forgive that much. I mean, like, there's things you could probably maybe somewhat kind of forgive though. But I mean, for you to sit here and go in the whole opposite direction, and then when it doesn't benefit you, you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna come back and see. Oh no, I mean, no, what's that thing? You made your bed, you got to sleep in the thing. No, you know, you should have been with us from the beginning, or you should have been with us for the beginning. That's all that is.
So yeah, that's all. Just another quick service announcement.
She's a mystery to me.
Stop cooning. It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Not in the long run. Yeah, she is a little crazy too. That's the way it goes. Do we have any? Well, actually, before we move on to sports, is there anything else in entertainment we need to bring up? Actually,
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, okay.
And congratulations to Nas on winning his first Grammy.
Oh yeah, congratulations to Nas on the first Grammy. Although it was funky, man. That was my least favorite of your albums from what I can remember. I tried to listen to it 4 separate occasions. It's like WandaVision, Daniel. Everybody else is saying it's great.
It's great.
But even besides that, it wasn't the best album that year.
This Grammy was for Illmatic.
I mean, they did owe him. They did owe him.
The makeup Grammy? Yeah, I can believe that.
Retroactive for Illmatic.
Yeah, they did owe him one, but
makeup
Grammy.
Grammy.
I guess give him a COVID Grammy.
Oh, Lord. Oh, and shout out to 3 people. First, K Tranada, one of my favorite producers from Canada. He won a Grammy for the best dance something kind of music. He's got like really cool upbeat house music. I fuck with him. And he had also the best dance song of the year with Kelly Uchis. I don't know if you all have ever seen Callie Uchis. Have you all ever seen this chick? All right, y'all need to Google her after the show is over. You'll see what I'm talking about. But point being, they won a Grammy together for best song. And then shout out to Lil Baby. I gotta give this dude credit real quick, because I didn't watch the Grammys like that, and these gentlemen didn't watch it all, so they don't know what I'm talking about, basically. But I have kids who want to see some of the highlights, and I noticed my daughter watching Little Baby's performance, and I have to admit, man, this is the second time I've seen this dude use his platform for social justice and to take the time to make sure that he's saying what's right, to use his time and his space. And he even made sure that, okay, I'm sitting there talking to my daughter while it's going on, and I'm like, yo, I respect Lil Baby for doing this. I don't know what he's really saying, but I know what he's saying. And as soon as I said that, the song stops, and he has this spoken word chick, and I think Rishi, you said she's like the Black Lives Matter spoken word person or something like that.
Yeah, she's one of the founders.
Okay.
But George Floyd's mom got pissed off at her for doing that.
For doing what?
I guess she thought that the BLM person was taking advantage of. I don't know, but she was just angry.
Yeah, we can talk about that after this, because there was something with hold on, we'll get to that. But yeah, shout out to Lil Baby, man, for real, because you're a young dude, you're a young rapper, you're out here getting money. You don't have to. So to go out of your way to show that that's important to you, that is going to resonate with a lot of young people and the fan base, and like keep people's head in the right space. So I appreciate that from you, brother, for real, for real.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I was just I was pointing out the George Floyd's mom thing because it was strange to me.
Now, what I was going to say was Mike Brown. A lot of people in Ferguson, like Black Lives Matter, is getting called out a lot over the last couple of weeks for their lack of actually following through with doing things, and it looks like over the years they just been doing a lot of fancy photo ops, but really haven't been getting down to the business the way they need to be.
It's owned by a white guy, isn't it? It's owned by a white guy.
George Soros founded it.
Yep.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
You didn't know that?
Black
I
people.
thought that was like a conspiracy theory.
No,
No, that's facts.
Yeah,
he funds that Joker. That's fact. Go do your Googles.
I'll do my Googles later.
So what do you expect? That's why I tell Black people, I say you got to be smarter than that. You can't make a movement with one of them in charge. You see what I'm saying? Because
That makes sense.
he's about making his money. I ain't gonna get on my soapbox about that.
Black people, you can't make a movie with one of them in charge, and you can't have a movement with leaders. I can tell you that right now too. Not gonna work. They're gonna find out who it is. That person will be compromised. Black people need to move like ants. We need to move like ants. Can't tell who's who, but we're all working hard as hell. And if you mess with one of us, the whole
Exactly.
ants, bees, but no, my Indian folks there, y'all are the bees. But whatever you want to call it, like we gotta be on the same page for real. Because that's why a lot of the social justice stuff keeps on happening. I saw a sister get shot at the other day. She was leaning in the car. Cop wanted her to get out or something like that. She's smoking a cigarette nervously. He finds like a baggie of something in the car. And what happened? She runs back to the car. She's trying to get away. He starts tasing her. And she's doing all that stuff, screaming and whatever. And then she tries to take off. And he starts shooting at her. And then another one I saw, a brother, he gets pulled over. He's like waiting in front of a building. He's like, I'm gonna pick up my mom. I'm here to pick up my mom. The cop is like, all right, but you can't, you know. He was like, let me see your license. She's like, let me just pull over here first. He's like, no, let me see it. He tries to speed off. The cop started bucking his car. Now, first of all, when did it become okay to shoot people just because they were speeding off? When did that become what's up? I didn't know that. I thought that was, reckless and all that kind of stuff.
Reckless endangerment or
We
something?
don't chase anymore. We just start bucking people just because they're getting in the way. That's what we're doing now.
Yep. That's the nature. That's the nature of policing right now. Here's what we need to take care of our own. We need to stay away from.
But see, that's not to me. That's not even taking care of your own. That's not laziness, I guess. But I can't just let this person ride off like I can't get in my car and tell them I just got it in their life right now just because they're trying to.
You can get away with it. You see what I'm saying? Like
that's the problem.
You can get away with it. Watch. The dude that killed George Floyd, he's gonna get off. Watch.
That's why they got 27 million.
Yep. That's exactly what I was about to say. They already got their justice to their eyes.
Now, hypothetically, 27 million, huh? 10 million should go on the street. Take him out and his family. Hypothetically.
No comment.
I ain't gonna object. Let's go to sports.
Yeah, that guy's a fucking asshole.
Now, in sports, not the biggest sports week ever. It was one thing I wanted to bring up. James, what happened in sport? Did anything happen in sports like that for real? The All-Star game was over.
Yeah. Nothing this week, man. It was pretty quiet, man.
That's right.
Shout out to
didn't make the NCAA tournament for the first time.
You talking recent?
1990. Hell, I got it now, James.
I became a Duke fan because of you, bro. You and Brian. So you gotta talk.
Nah, man. I walked away from the what you call it? only pay attention to the HBCUs, man.
I'm just saying this is an asterisk year. Think shit happens.
James, let me tell you what your coach said before Duke officially got bounced from the tournament. Let me tell you what this dumb shit he said. Coach K said after they beat who's the last team they beat? Frico. Rishi? Who's the last team they beat?
I don't know. I wasn't watching in an asterisk year.
Yeah, bullshit. Okay, so in the ACC tournament, after their last victory before they lost in the following game, before they got the COVID or whatever, during the post game, James, they asked Coach K, so how do you feel about your chances about getting the NCAA tournament after this win? You know, because of a big win. He's like, to be honest, I feel like we're already in the tournament.
I will say this, is that one and done is like living by the sword and dying by the sword.
Yeah.
And he died by the sword this year,
Yeah.
and it served him well for the last couple of years.
Them and Kentucky. You're right, and Kentucky.
So, what are you gonna do? Because as somebody talked about the other day, like, kids look good in high school unless you a Zion, you know what I'm saying, where you just know, or you a Kobe or something like that. It's a shot in the dark that these kids really gonna make it.
Mellow.
Yeah, no, good. He got his ass crossed up the other day though. God almighty.
I didn't see it.
Did you see it? Oh, they had that boy dancing. I think it was Steph or something. Yeah, Steph had that boy dancing. But that's Steph though.
Exactly. I was about to say that's not hard.
Besides that, man, I give my shout outs to Drew Brees for his retirement.
Oh yeah.
Finally, and that's it.
You feel sorry, but and in fact, I'm mad he retired. His trash butt. I was hoping he's gonna come back so they could be sorry one more year. Now take the butt.
He ain't trash, man. He's a Super Bowl champion, man. He was a good quarterback.
Yeah, man.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
Taysom Hill is the future.
Yeah.
Let's just go.
They do 140 million.
And Drew
But
Brees,
he does do a lot for that city.
Older than us.
Who, Drew Brees?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he has done a lot for especially African Americans in that city. So
good. Respect to him on that then, because I had no idea. About that, to be honest with you.
He pumped a couple 30 million in there. I think they said.
He's from
that city.
Austin, right here, like 2 miles down that way.
Yeah.
Oh, he's from Austin?
Yeah, he went to Westlake. That football
power, something like that.
Yeah, it's a weird.
So Rishi, who you got win the NCAA tournament since Duke's out? You can just willy nilly pick whoever you want.
Gonzaga.
Exactly.
I had no idea.
You think they're gonna pull off the undefeated season? That's a little tough.
I got Baylor, man.
You got Baylor?
Yeah, Baylor looks good too.
And I don't know these teams well enough to choose between Gonzaga and I've never seen Gonzaga or Baylor play. I've watched Illinois play a little bit. I've watched Michigan play a little bit, but Gonzaga and Baylor seem to be the favorites, and I haven't really watched them play like that. I know Baylor is gonna, if Carolina makes it to Baylor, they're gonna mollywop us. I'd say I'm a UNC fan. I'll tell you that right now. They're going
them boys are thorough, man. That Baylor team, I get the games over here sometimes. I guess I'm close to Texas, and so I watched the playoffs work one time. Like, man, them boys, they can ball.
Mm-hmm.
Gonzaga, I'm kind of eerie of because their conference is so weak.
They're Pac-10, no, Pac-12.
Yeah, Pac-12.
No, they're not Pac-12, are they?
I think they Pac-12.
I thought they're in the Mountain West. Yeah, because they go against like St. Mary's and stuff like that. They are.
They did move.
They Pac-12.
They were in the Pac-12 before, but they did move. They got realigned.
Okay.
They were never in the Pac-12, y'all. Never.
They weren't in the Midwest originally. They got realigned. So
no, it's like, remember back in the day, we all knew everything about every ACC team, and all of a sudden the Big East started falling apart, and then
man, it's
went from like 7 teams to 8.
Yeah, they're in the West Coast. They were in the West Coast tournament. I don't know what but it's BYU, St. Mary's, LMU, Santa Clara, San Diego,
Either way, they conference
San
sucks.
Francisco. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's their conference.
Their conference sucks, so that's why I really don't count the undefeated season.
I think they beat a couple of good teams, and they beat Virginia earlier this year, and they beat Kansas. They beat West Virginia they beat Iowa. So they played some teams. Now when they played those really good teams, the only team they really dogged was Virginia. So I don't know if I see, what, this would be the year of that an undefeated team could happen because of the lack of a crowd. Like that inherently is a lot less pressure.
Yeah.
You don't have the rock just, that means something.
Yeah.
It is
We were talking about this back in March.
And everybody's looking at you, but it's another thing that when you see that crowd and there's the Final Four, they get the stadium, there's like 60,000 people. Like, hey, some dudes different. Some dudes ball out in those moments, like the dude from UConn that beat Duke back in the day, I think Mooring or something like that. The year with UConn, when they had that little chubby point guard. When they beat Duke.
It was Rip Hamilton and
yes. The dude that beat y'all was not Rip Hamilton or the point guard. It was some other dude.
Yeah.
6'7" threes that night. He was you remember that, James? That's who beat y'all. That dude that no one was thinking of, but he was ready for those lights. And you never know who's ready for those lights. And
to me, it's going to be weird.
I think Gonzaga can pull it out.
I think it'd be some teams getting dropped because of COVID.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that too.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's gonna be weird. So
yeah, college basketball is that. NBA, to me, I don't miss the crowd like that because their skill level is such. I do miss the crowd, but not like that because the skill level is such that it doesn't impact the enjoyability for me. Because you still got dudes doing some crazy stuff, and the teams that can really hoop, like the Nets and the Lakers, like teams that are really good, it's still really fun to watch them play. But in college this year, it hasn't been. College basketball really does need the crowd. That's one thing They need it even more than football, I think, for whatever reason. College basketball needs it more than college football.
Yeah, it's a bigger deal in terms of.
But things are opening up. I'm about to go to my first LaMelo game pretty soon. Holla at me, brothers. I know you got them season tickets. Holla at a player. We can go out there and watch Melo. I think that's it for sport. Oh, dang it. I forgot to show. Did I show y'all that it was one other thing that happened that nobody's talking about in the news? Can't believe it. A couple of weeks ago, I put it in the group chat. I don't know if you guys saw it. So there's an Oklahoma Sooners football player, all right? Wide receiver, but he's the long snapper, about 6'3", 200, something like that. Obviously looking football player, all right? Him and his homeboy are in the bathroom. In fact, I can show you this one as well if I find it later on. I'll show you guys after the show. But here's what happened. So the Oklahoma football player who's like 6'3", 6'2", 200 pounds, and his friend who is just as big as he is, they're in the bathroom and they're standing in front of another dude who's about 5'7", 5'8", and his friend who's about 5'7", 5'8". So the football players are talking shit to the little dudes like, man, yeah, you better get the fuck out of here, blah, 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 da, 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 da. All right. And the football dude's friend pushes one of the little dudes. All right. Little man looks at his other little friend and says, which one you want? That's exactly. And that's when the football players should have known something was wrong, right? And I got to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Did you watch it, James?
Yeah. I got it now. Yeah.
Okay. You did. So, Rishi, Daniel, dang, you didn't watch it. I'm gonna show you guys. You have to see it after.
We're
not gonna take the time to find it right now, but look, Daniel, check this out.
Yeah, he was way too calm, man.
Yo, man, that's first of all. Let's stop the story right here. Look, people out in the world. First of all, it's 2021. Stop fighting. Just stop it. It's not where. Oh, you know what? We got to show it. Never mind. I can find it real quick, James. It's not gonna take long. Y'all got to see it because you will appreciate.
Wait, so
Everybody loves seeing a bully get their butt whooped.
I'm gonna say you can't tell people to stop fighting. I think everybody needs to get beaten up every once in a while.
All right, here we go. Real quick. Look, it came up that fast. Oh, what is this? Oh, here we go. All right. Which one you want? Which one you want? Pop, 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 pop.
Oh God!
No, wait, what? Boom!
Oh, Oklahoma has a lot of wrestlers.
Wait, be quiet, be quiet. Listen to the commentary by the guy taking the video.
Oh, he got him. He got him.
Listen to the dude. Listen to my man. Hold on.
He's tapping out.
Listen.
Yeah, they wrestlers, man.
Body slam.
Did you hear the last part? That's the part I wanted you to hear from the commentary. The dude that was taking the video said, "Damn, bro, y'all motherfuckers ain't playing around." Yo, this is why, man, forget all the regular commentary we see on ESPN and stuff. We need explicit rated X commentary for all these sporting events, man. It's always so much better. But gentlemen, I forgot about that. That happened 2 weeks ago. How come that wasn't all over the news? that was
that's white boys fighting white boys, man.
No, that was the white boys getting drugged by two little white boys. So, first question:
wrestling team because of football.
Is it? There you go. So, turns out have been fighting MMA for 10 years. 10 years trained, and yo, when my man did like this, when he said, "Which one you want?" That's the number one sign.
Yep.
Second, when somebody wipes the blood like this and looks at it, or they do like the Bruce Lee thing, or they do like this and lick it or something like, that's another sign. Check the ears too. These fools didn't check the ear. He had the cauliflower ear.
Yeah, and you got a cauliflower ear. You walk away.
The cauliflower ear. And here's the other thing, gentlemen. Are we fighting in 2021? Are we doing bar fights in 2021, gentlemen?
Not at our age.
Yes or no, James? Are we doing it in 2021 in the bar fight?
No. I mean, you got to defend yourself, but
yeah,
I ain't going over there picking on nobody, man. Or
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not. You don't know who's who out here, dude. You don't know who is who. You don't know who's got a knife. You don't know who's got a gun. Everybody's doing MMA. You know, like.
Man, I'll tell you a funny story too, man. Daniel, did you do combatives?
Oh, yep.
Man, well,
combatives when you're
fight school in the Army, right?
Yeah.
You gotta fight.
I got second place in my weight class.
Oh,
dude, we in leadership school, right? And so we had to spend a week in learning combatives, right? And so there was this little girl. She had to be about 5, 6. Real thin though, right? And she was one of the instructors. So the whole time the dudes was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to her room. I'm gonna go to her line." At the end of combatives, you gotta put your fist up, and then while they punching you, you gotta wrap them up. So you gotta withstand all their punches, right? So everybody's looking at this little girl, right? But the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, man, this girl got snapped. Like she can really like pop. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I ain't messing with her, man, because she could snap. So all the dudes going in her line, all these big dudes going in line, all I'm seeing is just pop in the head, right? So I'm asking the other instructor, man. I said, "Yo, man, who is that, man?" So he was like, "Yo, man, that's Fort Lee's boxing champion, female boxing champion." Nobody knew, right? She is just litting them up. Pop, disqualified. Pop, disqualified. Go back to the line. Pop. Come making a nose buzz like, oh, all these big dudes in the army. I said, you never know who you messing with, man.
You never know, man.
Never know. I lost to a guy who knew Brazilian jiu-jitsu and he was missing a tooth. I should have known when his tooth was gone. But
Dude, that's how I got my busted out, man. Combatives too. The dude hit me with a bamboo stick. Wasn't even paying attention. You know they tell you when you walk in the ring, always keep your guard. Just sitting there chilling, man, talking to somebody. Pow! I was like, whoa, what was that? Face first into the wall was padded. Boom. Gone.
No, that
Pay
hurt.
attention. That's all he told me. Pay attention. Pick yourself up.
Yeah, so I agree with Daniel. Everyone needs to get their ass kicked once, twice. Then you know how to take a hit, and then you can handle yourself.
Yeah.
Plus, it'll humble you too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, walking away will humble you too.
hey, look.
You get jumped and you can't walk away.
If you gotta defend yourself, you gotta defend yourself.
Is that if you gotta defend yourself, you gotta defend yourself. You correct about that.
There's nothing wrong getting your ass whooped if you defend yourself. But like I was taught, make sure that person never fuck with you again. You may beat me, but you ain't never coming back again. You're like, nah, they ain't worth the fight. He ain't worth the fight.
Exactly. You gotta leave some kind of. But yeah, man, I just had to share that with y'all because I love when the bullies get theirs and you talking all this big stuff. And those are always the most memorable stories from the fights, man. Like the bully are always the best. Always.
But see, that dude was ready to fight. He was ready to fight. He's charged up for that shit. He loves that shit. That dude that hit him, you can tell.
Oh, yeah. And did you see the first move? He slapped it. Look, he Pepe Le Pewed him in the cheek this way, face would turn, and then hit him back that way. Cold as hell. That's when you knew. Damn, I done fucked up. Oh, by the way, the Oklahoma Sooner player needed eye surgery, orbital bone messed up. Tried to look, didn't sue them. They've already said that we're leaving it alone.
So we started a fight.
Messed him up. He lawyered up. He got lawyered up, and then but the football player decided I'm not gonna sue him. So I hopefully the football player had some people from Oklahoma or his family or whatever be like, hey man, that's on you.
Yep.
He's on camera. He's gonna lose all his legitimacy on the field. He makes a big deal out of it.
Nah, that's an MMA fighter, man. He ain't got no business.
Yeah.
You just picked it wrong. You just picked it wrong. You thought you messed with a biology student.
That's a different movie right there.
The program is crazy. That's one of the best wrestling programs in the nation.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, I gotta do it. I got a quick bully story, but it was ironic because it was a friend of mine at the time. I'm still cool with him now, but he just had a bad night. We were out at the Wu-Tang concert at Cat's Cradle in Chapel Hill. Me, Micah, Arnold Hill, there's a few memorable people, Keith. There's a few memorable people that you don't want this to happen to when we're around. So my homeboy, I'm not gonna say his name, but he was feeling saucy. And we're outside smoking Black and Miles, waiting for the concert to start. It's Wu-Tang too. Everybody's excited. We hype. Blah blah blah.
My brother was there. Was that my brother that got his ass kicked?
Your brother got his ass kicked? Hell no, not around me. That wouldn't happen.
He was at that same Wu-Tang concert.
It was at a Wu-Tang concert though at Cat's Cradle. Yes.
He was there at that place. So I was making a joke. Like, was it him? Because
I mean, I saw your brother. Your brother was pimping out of Carolina, so I could have seen him anywhere. So yeah, we're outside smoking Black and Mild, and there's a drunk white dude sitting on the bench that's near us, right? And he's just looking all like this or whatever, leaning or whatever. I don't know what he's on, but I'm not paying him any attention. But the guy that's with us is a little bit too sauced up or whatever. So he starts talking, man, who the fuck you looking at? And we're like, yo, what? Leave him alone, man. He ain't messing with nobody.
Trying to figure out who this person is.
Us again, like, no, man, fuck this dude, man. He over here damn eyeballing us, man, blah, blah. We're like, yo, chill, man. He's not bothering us. He's obviously a little tipsy or whatever. He's just trying to shake it off, relax, man. It's all good. I think homie was on the, so he's not letting it go. Man, fuck this, blah, blah, blah. Walks over to the dude. My man stands up, still like this, right? The dude that we were with came face to face to him, sounding like Yosemite Sam. Why does that when the tornado? My man didn't say one word. My man said just like this. He smacked him so hard. He gave him the hardest smack I've ever seen in my life. He smacked him so hard that he was wearing glasses.
Oh God.
Have y'all ever been to Cat's Cradle? There's a 10-foot fence that surrounds the back where you smoke. He smacked him so hard, his glasses went over that 10-foot fence and landed on the other side.
Holy shit.
With Arnold Hill out there.
Oh yeah. Oh Lord have mercy.
Look, for Daniel, you don't know. Rishi, do you know Arnold like that, Rishi?
I know him as a. I know him.
You don't know him like that.
He played, not like that. He played ball.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Shout out to Arnold Hill. All respect to Arnold. This is like Daniel of all the dudes. You don't want something to happen bad to you. This is not the guy you want around. This was the guy. He should have been a professional comedian. And he just turned out to be one of us. But
Yeah. That dude, man.
And then the aftermath, and this is the end of the story. How come? We distance ourselves. Security comes over, of course. He's mad. He's trying to find his bearings because he just got the hell slapped out of him. But my man went back to sitting down like nothing happened. When security shows up, they're like, "Oh, he's the one acting crazy?" Okay, they grabbed the one that got my boy that got smacked and drag him out. And he's talking shit, getting dragged out, looking at us like, "Man, fuck y'all, man. Y'all don't let." Well, we were like, "Man, we told your ass we ain't missing this Wu-Tang concert."
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
When you get as a former person that used to wear glasses, the most irritating and most embarrassing thing to ever happen is somebody to slap your glasses off your face.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That is the most embarrassing thing ever. And the fact that you said that they flew over a fence and landed on the other side.
And that's facts. That's
The angle of the slap
facts.
is amazing.
Yes. He ain't for his glasses on purpose. I don't care what he said. He's like, I'm about to slap his glasses off. Yeah.
He was just like, yo, and the fact that he slapped them too.
Yeah, that's disrespectful, man.
Mhm.
It was. So anyway, let this be a lesson to all you kids out there. That was just my main point of that story was the whole time the guy that slapped him was like this, drunk and woozy, looking like he's not a threat to anybody. And I think that's why our guy was talking so much junk to him, because he was one of them around a whole bunch of us trying to probably trying to prove to us how tough he is. Nope.
Enjoy the show, man. Enjoy the show.
Exactly. So yeah, once again, man, Fire Optics. We had another good time with y'all. Y'all keep being Kurt Franklin. You got our respect. Y'all keep being good friends. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with a butt whipping every once in a while. Either get your mind right. Fire Optics.
He said vitamin next week.
I'm gonna bite the back of your neck.
All right, fam. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, leave your comments. We out.